Talking about fast cars and intense emotions brings us to Formula One. For decades, it has been a benchmark in motorsports. Determined drivers push their vehicles to the maximum limit. In this category, milliseconds make a difference. One mistake can be disastrous, as Verstappen's overtake on Hamilton showed. Formula One is the stage for memorable competitions and has won hearts worldwide. Currently, its engagement is remarkable. The audience is growing, social media is exploding, and even Netflix has approached it for a series. However, some time ago, passion cooled. The youth lost interest and profits declined. How can we forget icons like Ayrton Senna and Michael Schumacher? How did such a significant sport almost face bankruptcy? The answer? The attitude of one man. You will learn this story in this video. Chapter 1: The beginning of a story. Formula One is more than mere automobiling. It is the worldwide pinnacle of racing, and its reputation is unquestionable. Watching it is like witnessing the royalty of motorsports in action. For decades, it has been the throbbing heart of speed and technique enthusiasts. Under the auspices of the International Automobile Federation, known as FIA, each season has distinct stages, the Grand Prix or GP. Each team, to enter this speed circus, must follow a formula of design and construction, a set of rigorous rules established by the FIA. Today's Formula One cars are engineering marvels. They incorporate cutting-edge technologies, from superlight materials to advanced electronic systems vital for the performance and safety of drivers. But the competition did not start so sophisticated and advanced. Since automobiles emerged, races became inevitable. After all, what could be more exciting than testing the capabilities of these new machines? Around the 1900s, rudimentary races were already happening. However, it was in 1901 that the term Grand Prix was first used, in Le Mans, France. By 1904, the automotive clubs of the time saw the need for a central organization and founded the International Association of Recognized Automobile Clubs, the precursor to the FIA. The nomenclature may seem strange now, but it represented the beginning of an era. The FIA, realizing the growing complexity of races, delegated its organization to the CSI. In 1978, under the leadership of Jean-Marie Balestre, the CSI was renamed to FISA. Balestre, a notable character, was both adored and criticized, especially for some of his controversial decisions. Over the years, the organizational structure of the sport changed. The FISA was eventually absorbed by the FIA in 1993. The early years of Formula One after World War II saw the dominance of established manufacturers like Ferrari and Mercedes-Benz. It was a time of rebuilding, innovation, and hope. In the following years, Formula One continued to evolve. Regulatory changes, new circuits, and the introduction of the Constructors' Championship. At that time, Fangio became a legend, winning 5 championships in the 1950s. He is remembered as one of the great titans of the track. Throughout the decades, Formula One has remained at the forefront of technical and sporting innovation. From improving safety measures to aerodynamic designs, the sport never stopped evolving. Each season brought its own challenges, stories, and legends. Many fans have special moments engraved in their memories. In Brazil, periods like those of Fittipaldi, Senna, and Piquet are revered. Formula One is not just a sport, it weaves the tapestry of countless emotional memories. However, Formula One is more than just excitement and nostalgia. It represents technological forefront in the automotive world. The intense competition drives teams to constantly surpass themselves. Speeds exceeding 300 kilometers per hour require impeccable precision. And it is in this pressure-packed arena that revolutionary innovations emerge. Many advancements that originated in F1 eventually found their way into everyday cars. For instance, Mercedes integrated its experience with turbo-hybrid engines from F1 into production vehicles. Ferrari pioneered paddle-shift gearboxes in the 80s, now commonplace in luxury cars. With this combination of sport, business, and technology, there are standout figures. Characters who shaped F1. Some elevated it to new heights, others almost brought it down. And it's about one of these personalities that our story will delve into. Chapter 2: A Boss. In 2014, someone could question, do you think social media platforms like Twitter and Facebook will be mere passing fads? This was exactly the train of thought of Bernie Ecclestone, then CEO of the Formula One Group. This Brit, whose influence extended across much of Formula One, had an interesting start in the 50s. Originally, Ecclestone wasn't a businessman in the racing world. He tried to be a driver, competing in Formula 3. However, a series of accidents changed his course of action. In the 70s, Ecclestone made a strategic move and acquired the Brabham team. It was in this same team that Nelson Piquet would later achieve glory by winning world titles. But Bernie didn't stop there. In a meeting of like-minded minds, he co-founded FOCA along with other team leaders. And within that group, he quickly rose to become its chief executive. In his position, Ecclestone entered various negotiations, one of the most significant being with FISA. The result of this negotiation? The exclusive right to broadcast F1 GPs on television. This deal put him in a dominant position over the commercial aspect of Formula One, a position so prominent that his influence seemed to overshadow even the president of the FIA. His business group evolved and, after some changes, became recognized as the Formula One Group. Thus, the Ecclestone era was officially inaugurated. In the 80s, 90s, and even the 2000s, Formula One knew no bounds in its popularity. Great names sped on the tracks, from Ayrton Senna and Nelson Piquet to Michael Schumacher and Lewis Hamilton. Many believe that the pinnacle of the sport during this time was largely due to Ecclestone's unparalleled business acumen and negotiation savvy. The Brit had a reputation as a formidable negotiator. An example of this was in 1997. The UK had decided to ban tobacco advertising at sports events. Bernie, realizing the importance of tobacco sponsors for Formula One, managed to convince the Prime Minister himself to make an exception for the sport. Additionally, Ecclestone was a constant presence in the paddocks, interacting with drivers, teams, and always having something to declare to the press. But not everything was perfect. Formula One, like any major sport, needed to adapt to changes. And the most significant changes were coming from the digital world. Social media was becoming the new frontier, and Ecclestone, perhaps out of disdain or not fully understanding its power, hesitated. He did not see its potential in attracting a new generation of fans. And while Formula One faced its own set of challenges, such as constant rule changes and controversies like the Crashgate, Bernie seemed increasingly out of touch with the aspirations of the new generation. The transition to V6 engines was particularly poorly received. Fans loved the deafening roar of the old V10 and V8 engines and deeply felt the loss of this element. Comments from personalities like Luca di Montezemolo of Ferrari and Felipe Massa highlighted the need for Formula One to reinvent itself. Montezemolo criticized the state of the sport in 2014, and Massa pointed out that the category wasn't connecting with the audience on multiple platforms. The challenges were clear. Formula One needed to find its old shine and attract a new generation of fans. And for this renewal to happen, it was clear that the Ecclestone era needed to come to an end. Chapter 3: The New Momentum. Formula One is experiencing a new peak. Analyzing the recent sports landscape reveals surprising data. Contrary to pessimistic predictions, the popularity of this automotive category has reached impressive levels. The estimate for 2022? Around 1 billion fans globally, which was much higher. Furthermore, the reception from younger generations has been extremely positive. Surveys indicate that between 2022 and 2021, approximately 80% of new enthusiasts in this category were between 16 and 35 years old. This reveals a rejuvenation of the F1 audience profile. And surprisingly, engagement has also expanded considerably in the United States, a traditionally resistant territory. The North American automotive scene has its own stars. NASCAR and Formula Indy are two iconic competitions. These national races attract a vast audience, making the American market, in general, less receptive to international motorsports. But, contrary to this logic, Formula One did something remarkable. In 2021, at the Circuit of the Americas in the United States, 140,000 people gathered. The reason? To witness the battle between renowned drivers like Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen. To contextualize, this number surpassed the viewership of the May Indy 500, a milestone in motorsports. COVID-19, of course, may have affected the comparison. However, Formula One's prominence is undeniable. Going back in time, the competition faced challenges. There was a time when it seemed stagnant, losing its essence. The turnaround came when the administrative game changed. In 2017, the Bernie Ecclestone era ended. In his place, after the American company Liberty Media bought F1 for $4.4 billion, Chase Carey took the reins. The changes were radical. Liberty Media brought freshness and a contemporary vision. They identified F1 not just as a sport but as entertainment. And they began an intense restructuring effort. Especially valuing social media and the young audience, they distanced themselves from the previous management, considered outdated by many. This transition catapulted F1 into the digital universe. Esports emerged as a promising strategy. The young audience was captivated by immersive virtual competitions that replicate the thrill of real races. Additionally, the brand underwent significant rebranding, embracing a modern design and reinforcing its online presence. The digital strategy didn't stop there. Platforms like Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube were integrated into the F1 ecosystem. With exclusive content and unexpected collaborations, such as the interaction between MotoGP's Valentino Rossi and Lewis Hamilton, Formula One achieved unprecedented visibility. Statistics showcase the impact of this transformation. In 2020, engagement on Formula One's social media grew by 99%. Each platform was used strategically, agile and dynamic content on TikTok, more elaborate and high-quality videos on YouTube. Drivers and teams also intensified their online presence, with McLaren's Lando Norris becoming a phenomenon on Twitch. Liberty Media also embraced technological innovations by partnering with Amazon Web Services. This collaboration elevated the races to a new level of data detailing and analysis. The viewer experience was enriched, and audiovisual content underwent restructuring. However, the masterstroke came with the series Formula One: Drive to Survive. Netflix opened the doors to Formula One's backstage for the audience, humanizing drivers and teams. The tensions between drivers, race strategies, and personal dramas became more accessible than ever. The Drive to Survive phenomenon can be compared to the effect of The Queen's Gambit, a series that popularized chess. According to Netflix, Drive to Survive increased interest in Formula One by over 30% in some territories, and the series continued to be renewed, with new seasons released annually. Yet, the scattered attention of the youth remains a challenge. With smartphones and social media, the ability to concentrate has decreased. A Formula One race, which can last up to 2 hours, needs to maintain viewers' interest. To achieve this, Formula One invested in appealing graphics, quick summaries, and real-time analyses. Formula One, once seen as outdated and declining, has emerged as one of the major forces in the global sports arena. In an era of digital transformation and paradigm shifts, it adapted and demonstrated that with vision and innovation, it is possible to reinvent and thrive. This phenomenon illustrates the importance of continuous evolution and the ability to adapt to market and audience changes. Formula One certainly imparts a valuable lesson to all sectors. Now, if you've ever wondered, why isn't Lamborghini in Formula One? And how did they create their own competition? Click on the video playing on your screen and discover how this was possible. But if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to the channel, activating notifications, because I post new videos every day. including see you in the next one.